Welcome to the Friends of the Kennedy Center Tour Program. We hope this video will prove to be an excellent learning tool as you train to become a Friends tour guide. Hi, my name is Bill Turner.
And I'm Bob Barr.
And we are tour guides and shift leaders on Saturday mornings. You will have the unique opportunity to join 5 Friends tour guides as they lead you on the official tour route of the Kennedy Center, and we will be highlighting guidelines along the way. We will be joining you periodically to offer more helpful hints. Happy touring!
Tours begin here at the tour area, which is located on the A level. Shift leaders are the official keepers of the tour desk and are responsible for ensuring that shifts are staffed and that all members handle tours in a professional, efficient, and friendly manner. It is important to be congenial and to communicate clearly when speaking with visitors. Because this area is in close proximity to the gift shop, many people pass through who may not have planned on taking a tour. Be sure to say hello and encourage them to take one. Greeting visitors in a friendly way may entice them to join the next tour. Make sure your Kennedy Center photo identification badge, issued by the security department, is current and is clearly visible along with your volunteer name badge. These badges will allow you access into non-public areas and remind guests of your name. Closely follow the script as performed in this video and your written tour script. You will receive a supplemental tour handbook once you have mastered the tour script. Please avoid hearsay and personal opinions and limit any anecdotes. Ask at regular intervals if there are any questions and repeat them for the whole group. When tested to become a new tour guide, which will be discussed later, new guides are expected to use only information found in the official script. When around other tour guides and tour groups, please abstain from constructive criticism or helpful hints. If you feel you must offer feedback, you may do so after the tour group has left. You are asked to dress in a professional manner. For women, dresses, suits, skirts, and blouses are preferable, but dress pants are also accepted. For men, a nice shirt and pants are required, but jackets and ties are preferable. And of course, comfortable but professional walking shoes are imperative as the tour lasts over an hour. All denim and activewear and/or revealing styles are inappropriate at all volunteer areas. And please, no tennis shoes. Be mindful of the group dynamics, in particular any physical limitations, as some visitors move more slowly than others. The most important group dynamic: keep everyone together. If there are children in the group, be aware that the dynamics can radically change at any point during the tour. Maintain eye contact. Avoid walking too fast or too far ahead of the group. Avoid turning your back on the group. And remember, a good tour guide, like a parent, has eyes in the back of his or her head. Be authoritative with the pace you set, and remember that you are the leader. Always mention where you are going next. For example, we are now going to the Opera House. Before exiting the theaters, mention current programming. Now that we have most of the groundwork laid out, let's start the tour. I'll be joining you periodically to offer more helpful hints and guidelines. Happy touring!
Welcome to the John F. Kennedy Center, the National Center for the Performing Arts. I am Sena Sezen, a Sunday morning tour guide. I am originally from Turkey and I'm just one of the Kennedy Center's many international volunteers. As we take the tour today, please feel free to ask any questions you might have about the Kennedy Center. I will try to answer each question or let you know where you might find the answer. Before we get started, I should tell you that no food or drinks are allowed on the tour. All restrooms in the theaters are closed and photographs may be taken unless otherwise indicated. It is important that we as a group stay together. We also ask that all cell phones be turned off while on tour. When our tour is completed, we invite you to browse in one of our two gift shops located here on A level and in the Hall of States. Proceeds from the shops help support the center's programming and other activities. Now, please follow me up to the orchestra level.
A designated tour guide, usually one of the shift leaders, supervises the restocking of the kiosks in the Hall of Nations and the A lobby in front of the gift shop, the current Kennedy Center news, and the red brochures in various languages.
As one of many doormen at the Kennedy Center, we always look forward to working with the Friends volunteers. Our staff is always on duty 1 hour before showtime, and we are available to assist patrons in a variety of ways, hailing taxis, assisting with wheelchairs, and giving general directions to the Metro. Patrons requiring assistance should always be reminded of the limited availability of times of the doorman. Thank you for mentioning the services we provide to our visitors.
We are now standing in the Hall of Nations, which displays in alphabetical order the flags of the countries recognized diplomatically by the United States. The Kennedy Center is a unique institution, designated by Congress as both our National Cultural Center and a living memorial to President Kennedy. Hopes for a National Center for the Performing Arts became a reality in 1958 when President Eisenhower signed the bill that created our National Cultural Center and designated 17 acres of national park land on which to build it. At that time, the center was conceived as being an independent, self-sustaining institution. After John F. Kennedy became our 35th president in 1961, he played an active role in planning the center. President and Mrs. Kennedy were promoters of the arts and believed the White House should be a place to celebrate American culture and achievement. President Kennedy was tragically assassinated on November 22, 1963, at 46 years old, the youngest age at that of any president. After his death in 1963, sentiment quickly grew around the country to make the planned cultural center his memorial in the nation's capital. In 1964, President Lyndon Johnson signed a bipartisan bill that established the memorial, designating it the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. During the planning stages of the building, over 60 countries offered gifts to the center. We will be seeing many of these gifts on our tour. Please enjoy them, but remember not to touch. The Kennedy Center houses 6 theaters of various sizes and designs to accommodate a broad range of performances. The building itself was designed by Edward Durrell Stone and was built using 3,700 tons of Carrara marble, some of which came from the same quarries used by Michelangelo. They yield sculpture-grade marble that is the hardest in the world. The marble was a gift from the Italian people. It was pre-cut in Italy and assembled on site during construction. Part of the Kennedy Center's mission as the National Cultural Center is to make the arts accessible to all, and it does so by offering hundreds of free and low-cost performances each year. For example, here in the Grand Foyer, the center presents free performances every night of the year on the Millennium Stage. The Grand Foyer serves as the reception area for all three theaters on the main level: the Concert Hall, the Opera House, and the Eisenhower Theater. The Grand Foyer is also the site of several special events, such as the Kennedy Center Honors Gala and the New Year's Eve celebration, when all theater patrons are invited to ring in the new year with dancing and champagne. The Grand Foyer is 630 feet long, 40 feet wide, and 60 feet high. By way of comparison, the Washington Monument is 555 feet tall. Another way to think of it is that it is the length of 2 football fields plus 10 yards. The foyer is lit by 16 hand-blown Orrefors crystal chandeliers, each weighing 1 ton. They are gifts from the people of Sweden. Before we leave the Grand Foyer, I would like to point out the 6-story high, double-paned acoustical windows that insulate the building from the exterior noise, especially the jets that fly along the Potomac every few minutes.
Flexibility is very important to accommodate visitors' needs. Our tours can be modified if necessary. For example, if guests are on a tight schedule. However, do not exceed the time limit. No one likes a tour that drags on too long. Tours should take no longer than 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Our ushers are paid staff, and it is essential that all guides maintain a good working relationship with them. They are the individuals most informed regarding access to any of the theaters. When the usher tells you that the house is closed, respond positively and continue your tour. Remind tourists that this is a working, living memorial and invite the group back to see the hall or theater on another day. Tell your group that they can see any theaters they missed by going online to the Kennedy Center's website at www.kennedy-center.org. Be respectful to any Kennedy Center staff that you may come across in one of the lounges preparing for a meeting. Always ask if it would be permissible to bring your group into the space. If not, feel free to explain to your group that our lounges are frequently used for meetings and other special events. Be sure never to enter any lounge when the velvet rope is in place.
Hi, my name is Joan Schramm, and I'm the manager of the Kennedy Center's Usher Services. On behalf of our ushers, we welcome you. We're thrilled to be a part of this training video and enjoy supporting the tours at the Kennedy Center every day, as well as assisting the volunteers at the Visitor Center. The Kennedy Center Theater Security Ushers are paid staff whose first priority is to support and watch over the theaters, and we enjoy greeting all of our friends' guided tour groups who come through our venues. I look forward to seeing you leading tours in the future.
Hello, my name is Leslie Myers, and I'm a tour guide on Sunday mornings. Before we enter the concert hall, I would like to mention how grateful we are for our theater security ushers. They not only act as gatekeepers for the theaters, but also keep the tour guides up to speed regarding availability of the theaters and lounges throughout the day, as well as offering friendly assistance to our visitors. Now let's go into the concert hall. The concert hall is the largest theater in the Kennedy Center. All 3 main theaters meet the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The concert hall seats 2,465 and is the home of the National Symphony Orchestra, as well as a wide variety of other musical performances. The seating design of the renovated concert hall is reminiscent of some of Europe's finest halls. The box seats surrounding us here on the orchestra level and the on-stage boxes you can see to the left and right of the stage are new features and are modeled after the symphony halls in Vienna and Amsterdam. Above the stage, you will note wood panels. These exist for acoustical reasons and are among a number of changes that have made the concert hall one of the world's finest in terms of the audience's listening experience. The concert hall organ is the generous gift of Kennedy Center Chairman David M. Rubenstein. The 5,000 pipes range from the size of a pencil to more than 30 feet in length. The original organ it replaces, donated by Catherine Filene Schaus, had 4,000 pipes, and some of those pipes have been used in this organ to commemorate her contribution. The organ was created by a Canadian firm, Casavan Frere, which was founded in 1879 and is one of the oldest continuing names in the world of organ building. Above us, the 7 exquisite Hadelands crystal chandeliers are a gift from the people of Norway. During the 1997 renovations, the chandeliers were redesigned so that they could be lowered to floor level for cleaning and changing the bulbs. The National Symphony Orchestra was founded in 1931. Christoph Eschenbach is the music director of the National Symphony Orchestra, as well as the music director of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The NSO has performed its home seasons here in this hall since 1971. The NSO is an artistic affiliate of the Kennedy Center, and it helps the center fulfill its mission to serve as an artistic resource for both the community and the nation. The orchestra serves the Washington community by offering special programs for children, artistic training programs for teenage musicians, and special concerts in schools and churches. The National Symphony Orchestra's classical performances throughout the year also include guest appearances by great artists such as Itzhak Perlman and Yo-Yo Ma. Principal Pops conductor Stephen Reinecke gives us a lineup that has featured the orchestra playing light classics, jazz, and Broadway hits with stellar guest artists. On the far wall is a gift from the Danish people, a porcelain relief titled Vibrations that is said to represent the relations between human beings and between nations. On the other wall is a gift from Switzerland, a wall sculpture called Apollo X 1970. The artist, Willy Weber, placed dynamite charges on both sides of this sheet of steel and exploded them, then chrome-plated and polished the sheet to achieve a mirror finish. This and other lounges are used for board meetings, press conferences, luncheons, and receptions. Kennedy Center members contributing at least $1,200 annually are invited to use these lounges before performances and at intermissions. Several membership categories are available, beginning as low as $60 per year. You can find brochures describing membership benefits at various locations throughout the building, including the Visitor Center in the Hall of States. This lounge is a gift from the people of Israel. The theme here combines images from the present time with the biblical era. The African walnut panels, with their highlights of brass and copper, take their theme from Psalm 150, which is carved into the center of the mural. They depict the artist's conception of ancient musical instrument with their Hebrew names in English letters. Overhead are 40 wooden panels decorated with acrylic paints and 22-karat gold leaf, showing musical images described in the Old Testament. Joshua at the walls of Jericho, David playing his harp, Miriam doing her triumphant dance, and a choir on the temple steps. Note how the mirrors on the tables enhance the beauty of the ceiling. In the entryway, you will notice a mezuzah, which is found on the doorposts of many Jewish homes. This is our gift from Luxembourg. Made of pink marble, it is called Ascension and is by Lucien Vercollier. Here we have the bust of Mstislav Rostropovich, National Symphony Orchestra music director and conductor laureate. Mr. Rostropovich was the conductor of the National Symphony Orchestra from 1977 through 1994 and conductor laureate until his death. He passed away on April 27, 2007. The artist of the bust is Audrey Roll. The bust is inscribed, "In appreciation of Slava's music and his indomitable human spirit." Dmitry Shostakovich was a friend and mentor to Rostropovich. The Shostakovich bust was Rostropovich's own gift to the Kennedy Center in 1976 upon the 70th anniversary of Shostakovich's birth. All three theaters on the main level of the Kennedy Center have presidential boxes reserved for the president, his family, and guests. When the president is in attendance, the presidential seal is placed at the front of the box in view of the audience. The White House controls all seating for the presidential boxes, making them available by invitation for cabinet members, diplomats, members of Congress, and others. There are 12 seats in the Concert Hall presidential box, 8 in the Eisenhower, and 8 in the Opera House. Now let us proceed to the other end of the box tier level. This bronze sculpture, simply called Figure, is the work of Dame Barbara Hepworth and is a gift from Great Britain. The Kennedy Center receives funding from Congress for the maintenance of the building as a presidential memorial, but not for the center's artistic and educational functions. All of the plays, musicals, concerts, films, opera, and ballet performances here are supported by ticket sales and private contributions from corporations, foundations, and individuals like you. Ticket sales and earned income cover about 55% of the cost of productions. In addition to the many activities that take place in this building, the Kennedy Center reaches beyond its walls to promote the performing arts around the world. For example, each year the Education Department touches more than 11 million people who are directly served with its many programs for young people, parents, teachers, and the general public.
Welcome to the Friends Volunteer Program. I'm Sarah Enos, the Kennedy Center's Director of Development Systems and Services. We very much appreciate your serving as advocates for Kennedy Center membership and for promoting the exclusive benefits we're able to offer our members. These individual memberships are critical to supporting the Center's outstanding performances and educational programs. Thank you for being a friend.
Photographs are allowed to be taken in all spaces on tour if no event is taking place, with the exception of the following scenarios. Taking photographs on cameras, cell phones, and video cameras is not allowed when inside the Opera House, Eisenhower, Terrace, or family theaters when the curtain is up and there are scenes, sets, costumes, props, or stagehands on stage, or when a rehearsal is in progress. If tourists want to take photographs in the theater space when this happens, be sure that they are facing away from the stage. Because there is no stage curtain in the concert hall, photographs are allowed except if your group is invited into the concert hall during a rehearsal when absolutely no photographs are permitted in the hall.
Special display cases can be found throughout the building, including the lobbies of the Opera House and Eisenhower Theater, and entrance into the Family Theater. They are used to promote shows, festivals, and other events, as well as celebrate special past performances. The display cases are also used to feature many of the artifacts that have been donated to the center. During our international festivals, they provide an opportunity to showcase items relating to the festival participants. The Friends Office will notify the tour guides whenever there is a special exhibit to mention that relates to current programming. Including the cases in your tour as a complement to the tour guide information enriches our visitors' overall experience.
Hello, my name is Dwayne Morgan, and I am a Friday morning tour guide. The mirrors you see on either side of the Opera House are a gift from Belgium. The Opera House is the second largest theater with 2,362 seats. It was designed for opera, ballet, and musical theater. The Opera House is home to the Kennedy Center Honors Program, which began in 1978 and is shown by CBS each year in late December. This gala event, usually attended by the president and other dignitaries, honors a group of artists for their distinguished contributions to the performing arts in America. Founded in 1956, Washington National Opera became an affiliate of the Kennedy Center on July 1, 2011. Washington National Opera is one of the country's leading opera companies, showcasing many of the world's greatest opera artists. Formerly led by Placido Domingo, the company's current artistic director is Francesca Zambello. Washington National Opera's commitment to audience education includes Q&A sessions with artists, as well as pre-performance lectures. Each year, in partnership with the Washington Nationals, the company presents Opera in the Outfield, a free simulcast of a performance at Nationals Park, which attracts more than 10,000 people. An important part of Washington National Opera's mission is the development of the next generation of American artists. The Domingo K. Fritz Young Artist Program offers young performers training and many performance opportunities, including their own opera production. The American Opera Initiative commissions and presents new works by young American composers and librettists to help develop new American operas. Here in the Opera House on September 8, 1971, the Kennedy Center was dedicated with premiere performance of Leonard Bernstein's Mass. The silk curtain is a gift from Japan. The chandelier is a gift from the Austrian people. It's made of Lobmeier crystal. It is 50 feet in diameter and contains almost 2,000 bulbs. Approximately every 3 years, the bulbs are replaced and the crystal must be polished. When that time comes, a piece of machinery called a cherry picker, which has a very long arm, is brought onto the Opera House stage. A stagehand climbs into the bucket and is lifted to the ceiling, where he replaces the bulbs and removes clusters of crystal so they may be brought down and clean, a job that takes 3 to 4 days. Here we have a bronze bust of Marian Anderson, a gift to the Kennedy Center in 1974 by Hungarian sculptor Nicholas Kony. The American contralto was also one of the first recipients of the Kennedy Center Honors in 1978, its inaugural year. The bust is said to represent Anderson singing Franz Schubert's Death and the Maiden. Please follow me to the African Room. This is the African Room, which houses many gifts to the center from the people and nations of Africa. The striking wall and ceiling panels are designed to convey a feeling of the African environment and symbolize both the unity and diversity of the African nations. Here we have a Sase Due, which means Mother Earth condolences to you. This striking wooden sculpture is a gift from Ghana. These calabashes, carved and painted, serve both aesthetic and utilitarian functions. They are used as fish floats, serving and mixing bowls, and to print cloth like that hanging on the wall. This cloth symbolizes mourning over the death of President Kennedy. Among the many accomplishments for which he will be remembered are the Peace Corps, the conquest of space, and his early championship of civil rights. The wall hangings here are all from African nations, and represent traditional styles passed down through many generations. As we proceed through the smaller reception room, please note the doors, which were carved from a 700-year-old tree in Nigeria. The carving depicts life in the village where the sculptor was born. On the wall to the right is a contemporary tapestry from Senegal called The Students. The hand-hammered relief made of aluminum is from Nigeria. The mohair rug is from Lesotho. The blanket is from Mali. This is the presidential box for the Opera House. Similar to the one we saw in the concert hall, it too has a small reception room for use before and during performances. It has 8 seats.
Always be ready to respond to visitors at the tour desk by not talking among yourselves when visitors are waiting. On tour, try never to turn your back on visitors. Your proximity not only to the group, but to the space or artwork you are describing is crucial to giving a successful tour and to keeping the group engaged and interested in what you have to say.
Please notice on each stairwell the two paintings entitled Combat of Astral Beings 1 and Combat of Astral Beings 2 by Raquel Forner and given to the Kennedy Center by Argentina. These two tapestries you see at each end were designed by Henri Matisse and are called respectively Birds of the Air and Fish of the Sea. The two bronze figures are called Nymph of the Sea, or L'Océanide, and Autumn, in French, L'Automne, respectively. All of these gifts are from people of France. Now, step over here to the balustrade and look down into the grand foyer where we can get a good look at American sculptor Robert Burke's memorial bust of President Kennedy. Commissioned by the Kennedy Center, it is made of bronze and is 8 feet high and weighs 3,000 pounds. Flanking the bust on each side is an interactive exhibit entitled John F. Kennedy, His Life and Legacy. This exhibit provides visitors with a wealth of audio-visual information about Kennedy's career, his accomplishments, and his most memorable speeches. President Kennedy was a great supporter of the arts. Inscribed on the walls of the River Terrace just outside the grand foyer, you will find quotes from speeches in which he spoke of his vision for America's cultural life.
It is very important to give the correct form and pronunciation of proper names. For example, Robert Burks, not Robert Burke, is sculptor of the great Kennedy bust. As tour guides, we give information, not opinions. Always remember, you are representing the Kennedy Center. Be sure to promote the Kennedy Center performances and mention that Millennium Stage brochures are available at both ends of the grand foyer. Because the tour ends at the gift shop, take a moment to mention a few items available for purchase. There are two terrific information kiosks that we would encourage you to access. Here, in the grand foyer, we have an interactive display that elaborates on the Kennedy Center as a living memorial of President Kennedy. The other kiosk is situated just to the left of the visitor center and provides information about performances, restaurants, and ticket purchases, and offers a wonderful virtual tour of the center. Closed captioning is available at both locations.
Hello, I'm Barbara Higgins, a Thursday afternoon tour guide here at the center. This theater was named for President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who launched the effort to establish a National Cultural Center. He signed the National Cultural Center Act in 1958, the first time in history that our government backed and helped finance a structure dedicated to the performing arts. The memorial bust of President Eisenhower was done by Felix de Weldon, the same artist who created the Iwo Jima Memorial across the river in Arlington, Virginia. The bust was given to the Kennedy Center by the Texas State Society, commemorating the first native Texan to become President of the United States. Now follow me, please, into the theater. The Eisenhower Theater, traditionally home to the many theater and dance performances here at the center, reopened in the fall of 2008 after a 16-month renovation costing $17.9 million. The theater seats 1,164 people, making it comparable in size to many of the Broadway theaters. There is an orchestra pit that can seat up to 35 musicians that can be converted into a 4-stage or additional seating space. The gold curtain fabric came from France. Cosmetically, the theater boasts a color scheme of blue and gold, with bronze and stainless steel railings and trim. There is a state-of-the-art sound system and excellent sound isolation from the theater directly above us, the Terrace Theater. Now follow me, please, to the box level. Note that instead of the presidential seal over the door to the box, we have a portrait of President Eisenhower done by J. Anthony Wills. It was President Eisenhower's favorite. In fact, there's an exact replica hanging in the White House. The tapestries on the stairwells are gifts from Mexico designed by Leonardo Neerman, entitled Poem to Fire 1 and Poem to Fire 2. Now follow me, please, to our beautiful Chinese lounge. The Ministry of Culture of the People's Republic of China donated 2 murals to the Kennedy Center. On the wall directly in front of us is Verve of China, a mural representing the image of Fei Tian, best translated into English as flying figures. On the far wall in the center is a mural entitled Orchid Pavilion Preface by Wang Shiji, a celebrated calligrapher who lived in the 4th century during the Eastern Jin dynasty. Many Chinese practice the art of calligraphy. It's taught in schools, starting at the elementary level, where students are engaged in competitions. Of special note are the white swans, the bird of peace mute swans, in the case immediately to our right. They are a smaller version of the white swans that President Nixon presented to Chairman Mao during his historic visit to China in 1972. In the original sculpture, the larger of the 2 swans had a wingspan of 7 feet. Lastly, the beautiful rug in the center of the room came to us from Beijing.
If members of your tour require a foreign language script, provide one and feel free to let guests keep the script at the end of your tour. Among our ranks are many tour guides from other countries and many who speak multiple languages.
Hi, my name is Curtis Ray, and I'm a Sunday morning tour guide. We're here in the Terrace Gallery. This multi-purpose room is used for art exhibits, seminars, workshops, performances, special events, and educational events. The Kennedy Center's artistic advisor for jazz programming is Jason Moran. The KC Jazz Club, which has become very popular, takes place here in the Terrace Gallery. Many Kennedy Center jazz performances are broadcast on NPR's Jazz Set with Dee Dee Bridgewater. Check your local listings for time and place. The Terrace Theater was made possible thanks to a generous gift of $3 million from the government and people of Japan in honor of America's bicentennial. You'll notice the royal purple of Japan throughout the entire lobby. The Terrace Theater is a combination recital hall and performance space. It seats 500 and offers a wide range of performances, from chamber music to modern dance to poetry readings. The Terrace Theater also hosts the American College Theater Festival, a competition for collegiate musicals, plays, and theater artists from all across the country. Across from the Terrace Theater is the Theater Lab. The Theater Lab presents the hilarious comedy whodunit, Sheer Madness. Sheer Madness is an interactive production in which the ending can change based on audience input. It has been running continuously since 1987. There are 2 restaurants on this level. They're over in the Nations Gallery. The KC Cafe offers cafeteria-style dining, and the Roof Terrace restaurant has table service and a more elegant surrounding. There are also food carts available at certain times down in the Grand Foyer and right here in the States Gallery. Now, if you come with me, we'll walk out to the Roof Terrace to see the beautiful view. The river below us is the Potomac River, And the wooded area is Theodore Roosevelt Island, an 88-acre wilderness preserve and memorial to President Teddy Roosevelt. The terrace encircles the entire building, so we encourage you after the tour to come back up and see the beautiful view of Washington, D.C. Now, we're going to head back downstairs to the Hall of States, where we will conclude our tour.
As you come to the end of your tour, you are encouraged to remind the group that a gift of any amount will help us meet our annual fundraising goal. Let the group know that if they would like to help, they may deposit their contribution at our special donation slot located at the tour desk.
The Hall of States displays flags from all 50 states, the 5 U.S. territories, and the District of Columbia. They're hung in the order that the states joined the Union. Towards the front of the building, on the far right, you can see the flag of Delaware. The Hall of States also is where theater goers with hearing impairments can come to obtain assistive listening devices. The Kennedy Center offers a broad range of services that permit patrons with visual, hearing, and mobility impairments to enjoy the performances. The Hall of States is also where the Visitor Center is, and also the main box office.
On behalf of all the Kennedy Center box office staff, it is always a pleasure for us to work with Friends volunteers. Our staff is always on hand to answer any ticket-related questions, as well as assist with comments or complaints you may receive.
We are immensely grateful for the Friends at the Visitor Center who serve as liaisons for ticket services and direct our patrons to the box office, and for the tour guides who promote our performances. Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to the Friends program.
Now, if you come with me, we'll walk towards the Family Theater.
Please keep in mind that the review process is an integral part of being a successful tour guide. New guides are expected to be ready for review within 2 months of their start date. After 3 or 4 weeks of partial tours, you should be ready to be critiqued on a full tour with one of your shift leaders. Once your shift leaders think you are ready, you will be reviewed by a member of the tour guide training and review team. The Family Theater is our newest theater, completed in December 2005. It is special because it was built with younger audiences in mind and furthers the mission of the Kennedy Center. The theater also has the capability to do teleconferencing, live streaming, and interactive performances. We ask that you take your tour into the Family Theater when 2 of the main theaters are closed. Your shift leader will contact security for access into the space.
The Family Theater regularly hosts Kennedy Center performances and educational events in music, theater, and dance for young people and their families. It seats 324 and is the first new venue built at the Kennedy Center since the Terrace Theater was installed in 1979. One of the most important features of the Family Theater is that it is accessible for those with disabilities. Many actors like to bring children up on stage, and this feature ensures that all children, even those with disabilities, can participate. This element also adds another possible dimension for actors who want to go out into the audience space and perform out there.
Welcome to the Friends program. My name is Betty Siegel. I'm the Director of VSA and Accessibility at the Kennedy Center. We at the Kennedy Center work very hard to ensure that the building, all the theaters, programs, events, and performances are accessible to our patrons with disabilities. We provide a wide range of services, including loaner wheelchairs, assistive listening devices, captioning, sign language interpreters, audio description, and large print and braille playbills. We are extremely grateful for the Friends' support and advocacy of our program. Thank you for always mentioning our outstanding accessibility features to our visitors.
It's important to remember that all public areas and facilities at the Kennedy Center are fully accessible to guests with disabilities. You should be familiar with the best accessible routes when necessary. Feel free to pick up an accessibility brochure at the Visitor Center, which includes everything you need or want to know about accessibility features at the Kennedy Center.
We hope you've enjoyed the tour as much as I've enjoyed showing you the Kennedy Center. I'm one of over 500 Washington area volunteers who donates their time giving tours, staffing the Visitor Center, working in the gift shops, and performing a wide range of administrative and support functions. We hope you'll check out the gift shop on this level or go downstairs to the one on the A level. This concludes our tour. We encourage you to come back for a performance and to stay in touch with the arts by participating in the life of your own performing arts center back home.
We hope you've had fun on your virtual tour of the Kennedy Center. We hope you will come back frequently to this video to reinforce what you've learned. And remember, your shift leaders can answer any questions. As one of the first people that guests interact with at the Kennedy Center, your job is very important. You meet people from home and abroad and help cultivate a love for the arts and this memorial in others. We are so excited that you have joined our team. Happy guiding.